All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Miami Dolphins rookie defensive lineman Zeek Biggers. Biggers continues to emerge as a steal for this Dolphins front. Obviously, bigger names like Kenneth Grant haven't stepped up consistently, but Biggers is filling in and doing a lot of great things. I think he, along with Phillips, is the future of this Dolphins defensive line, and we'll break down everything he did so well in Miami's most recent victory. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback you might have. If you're a fan of these film reviews and want to help support us so we can do more of them, consider becoming a member of our channel. It's a big help to us. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's open up with a little pass rush, and there's Biggers right there, lined up in a 3 technique on the outside shoulder of the New Orleans Saints right guard, and it's going to be a play-action pass for the Saints. They're going to fake the running back that direction, set up in the middle of the pocket, and from a protection perspective, the Saints are going to slide the protection to the offensive left. So we're going to get blocked there, blocked there, blocked there, blocked there with a heavy hand inside with 75 working on Biggers, tight end working off this direction right here, and again, the quarterback is going to fake it to the running back and settle up in the pocket and try and take a shot downfield. I want you guys to watch Biggers. Again, he's going to have 2 guys on him, the right tackle, coming down, and the right guard right here, heavy hand inside, trying to hold up Biggers. He fights through the double team, ends up getting a big hit on the quarterback. Let's check it out. There's a snap, play action. Initially has time. Time runs out. There's Biggers to make the play. Nice job. All right, let's break it down here. Zeek Biggers. So you can see the right guard work to his left, 75 taking him over. So we basically have 2 guys on Biggers right there. Again, not a great situation to be in, but he keeps working. He keeps grinding. Ends up getting the sack. Nicely done. You know, it's about effort. It's about 1-2. And that's what we were seeing from 93 down the stretch. Didn't see that a lot from the Dolphins the first half of the season. We're seeing a lot of that because of guys like Biggers. Phillips, their other young defensive tackle, did a film review of him yesterday as well. He's become quite a player. These guys, these dynamic duo, this youth movement on front is going to be huge for Miami. From a technical perspective, Biggers, not great. He's too high. His feet are all over the place. But again, watch him just scratch and claw. Right, just fighting everything he possibly can. He will not be denied. There's something to be said for that, right? I understand the big physically gifted guys like Kenneth Grant, for example. He's very physically gifted. He's not getting to the quarterback. Who's the guy getting to the quarterback? The guy who wants it more, and that's who Zeek Biggers is. I think he's going to be a key part of this defense going forward. All right, from the wide copy, you can see Biggers right there in the middle of your screen. There's a play action. He's just scratching, just clawing, just not giving up. Love to see it. Part of being an interior defensive lineman in pass rush situation is just not stopping your feet. It's just grinding. It's pushing the pocket at all times, right? You're not going to win the initial rush a lot of times, right? Because you're going to play the run. You've got 2 guys on you. It's a tough situation. But look at Biggers and compare it to over here, right? Biggers gets the sack. 2 guys on him, splitting the double team on effort alone. Their other defensive tackle, what's he doing, guys? He's still at the line of scrimmage. Now, he's being double teamed. I don't want to blame him too much. But compare the effort, compare the 1-2, compare the sheer drive. Biggers has it, guys. And now, will that make him a superstar? Will that make him an all-pro? Probably not, unless he cleans up his technique and becomes, a little stronger, more athletic, which he could. He could certainly still develop. But his effort, his 1-2, his drive, his ability to make these kind of plays, that really stands out for this defense. All right, how about the clutch play of the day? You can see Zeek Biggers right there line up in the A-gap. You can see this New Orleans Saints there in their tush-push situation right here late at the end of the game. They're going to bring 14 in motion and have him circle up behind the quarterback, and they're going to try and just run a tush-push quarterback sneak, everyone crashing down inside. And to stop the tush-push quarterback sneak, you need really 3 things to happen. But first and foremost, you need to have your interior defensive lineman, and that's Biggers right there, and that's Phillips right there, create a wall. Because if he gets it on the initial surge, you're done. So you need to create a wall, create some penetration, force the quarterback's initial surge to stop, have him lose all momentum, and then have the cavalry arrive. That means your defensive tackles, like Biggers here, they have to win and win decisively. Clutch play from number 93, getting it done. Dynamic rookie duo here on 4th down to give the Dolphins a victory. Let's check it out. There's a motion. Comes back around, behind the quarterback. There's a snap. Nowhere to go. Stuffed. Dolphins win. Look at Biggers here. It's so quick. Watch him turn that guard. You see the guard's trying to fire off right there. Boom. Creates that wall. Nowhere for the quarterback to go. Quarterback's trying to go straight, forces him to go right, and that's when the cavalry arrives. Can't get it. No momentum. Momentum lost. Right here, the quarterback is getting a help from 14, trying to get some help. No chance. Because they got this wall, this mass of humanity inside. Again, stopping the initial surge is important. Then you need the cavalry to arrive, and it does, and the Dolphins win. This is really, really good from Biggers. Again, right off the football. Good surge. Look at him blow up this guard. It's a little thing, guys. It doesn't seem like something, again, no one was talking about on the broadcast in terms of a great job by Biggers. But when you watch the film, beating the guard in this situation, you can see how the guard gets turned. No movement at all from the offensive line. No ability to get any push. Like right now, the guard's horizontal. He's creating a wall that the quarterback can't get through. Biggers is contributing as well, right? He's horizontal part of the pile. It's ugly football. It's not fun, right? It doesn't get you on the highlights or anything like that, but it leads to a Dolphins win.
I think one thing we're seeing trending in the right direction is Biggers is getting more and more play time each and every week, meaning got to be doing a pretty good job. We roll it back to week 2, he got 6 snaps. Then week 10, he got 19, 23, and 11. And now week 13, he's up to 31 snaps this game. He must be doing something right. We're seeing Biggers get on the field more and more. And as he does, I think we're seeing some more impressive play out of him as well.
All right, let's go with some run defense now, and there's Biggers right there, lined up in a 2-eye technique on the inside eye of the New Orleans Saints right guard. It's going to be an inside zone concept here for the Saints. We're going to get a base block there. We're going to get a base block here, base reach working up to the next level. We're going to get the tackle working up to the next level, and a base reach right here on Biggers. We're going to get motion pre-snap, and he's going to kick out the end man on the line of scrimmage right there. Again, standard zone stuff. Running back's going to take the handoff and try and cut back where we can find a hole. He can either keep it straight here, cut back all the way around here. Again, where we can find a hole, running back has carte blanche to make a decision there. I want you guys to watch Biggers. He plays this absolutely perfectly. He gets the one-on-one block with the guard, completely disrags him. He's right there to make the play. He can't quite make the tackle, but everything else was A+. Let's check it out. There's a motion. There's a snap. There's the inside run. Running back breaks a tackle. Turns into a good play. All right, let's break it down. Biggers does this so good, but he can't quite make the tackle. Watch that shock to the offensive lineman. Again, he's got the gap, the A gap between the center and the guard, stays in his gap. Great base. Look at that, parallel to the line of scrimmage. You got hips, knees, shoulders, helmet, everything parallel to the line of scrimmage, not turned. Good pad level, good extension right there. He's in his gap, good job gap integrity. Then he fights off the block to make the play, and then he can't quite make it. That's so tough. Now I'm going to give credit where credit is due. This is a really nice run from 24. Right, making 3 people miss in the hole basically right there. Dolphins got 3 guys right there, totally ready to make the tackle. Finds a way to squirt through for a nice run. That is a really good run by 24. But Biggers, man, this is perfect. Technically, he's in his gap. Good fundamental football, strong, fights off the block. He just can't quite make the tackle. So close. Sometimes it's the little things, guys, right here, and he's right there to make the play. If he can be consistent tackling at the point of attack in the run game, he will be a monster because he's becoming quite the force. We saw it against Washington. We also saw it against the Saints. Again, needs to finish, but really good job from a technical perspective from Zeek Biggers. All right, from the wide copy, you get a really good look at Biggers right there in the middle of your screen. Watch him shock this guard. Watch this guard's helmet snap back, guys. Look at this. Boom. That guard just, look at this. You can see almost a little whiplash from the guard. Boom. He gets totally shocked. Again, this is the rookie stepping up in a big way. Extension, fights off the block, can't quite make the tackle. I mean, this is prototypical shock and shed. Shock, shed, not make the tackle, can't quite do it. And again, it's a really good run, right? Give credit again where credit is due. Sometimes the other guy gets a vote, right? And he makes a nice play. 24, good young back for the Saints. Zeek Biggers, though, plays this perfectly. Good gap integrity, dominates the base block, shock, shed, just can't quite make the play. If he cleans that up, it would be a phenomenal job by Biggers. All right, sticking with the running game, and there's Biggers right there. Line up as a 5 technique on the outside shoulder of the tackle. You can see the Saints, they got a lot of beef over on the right side of the formation. They got a tight end here, and their do-it-all player, Taysom Hill, right there, lined up in kind of an H-back alignment. It's going to be a design cutback here for the Saints. They're going to bring in motion, a man receiver in motion in that direction to get some pull from the linebackers and safeties. Everyone's going to kind of block to their right, so we're going to get a double team right here, working up to the next level. We're going to get a base block here. We're going to get a double team right here, working up to the next level. We're going to get the tight end coming through right here. Running back's going to take a step this direction and cut back and follow Taysom Hill. Again, it's designed to look initially kind of like inside zone, working to the right side of your screen with a design cutback right here baked in with number 7 leading at the point of attack. Now, with that in mind, Biggers really isn't close to the play. He's got a one-on-one block right here against number 75, and he dominates this rep. He wins clearly, but I love the effort on the other side of it, the little things to become part of the tackle, even though the play is far away from him. Let's check it out. Pre-snap motion. There's a snap. There's the handoff. Design cutback. Blown up. Good defense. Kenneth Grant kind of gets thrown around here a little bit, but kind of blows up the play. Give credit where credit is due to that rookie. Not a great season for Kenneth Grant so far. He's had moments. He's had games. He just consistently it's not quite there yet. But let's look at Biggers. One-on-one on the tackle. Shock, shed, fights to it, part of the pile. It's the effort, guys. And that's what I look for when I look at teams trying to turn the corner and look to the future, which the Dolphins obviously are. Maybe they can make a run at it this season. They got a favorable schedule, one game at a time. Of course, they've won a lot of games in a row. They're playing good football. We'll have to see what they do down the stretch. But I think we all agree this is a Dolphins team that right now is trying to figure out who they want to be for the future. And Biggers, to me, is who you want to be. Look at the effort. Look at the motor. Again, this is a big dude. Right here, fights off the block, jumps on the pile. Let's compare it to other players. I'm not trying to pick on anybody here, but let's look at Kenneth Grant. He's on the ground. You get up, kind of jogs to the pile. How about over here on the edge, right? Does he run to the pile? Maybe force a fumble, maybe recover fumble if a ball pops out? Not really. How about number 2? Not really. Kind of lackadaisical. And I'm not blaming those guys because that's standard. Zeek Biggers showcases that next level effort. Running back still alive, I'm going to jump on the pile. I don't care. And this is how you get fumble recoveries. This is how you get forced fumbles. This is how you make sure a running back ends up a half yard shorter than maybe he would have gotten. And then you get to that tush push 4th down and you win the game. Right? The little things matter, guys. They really, really do. And the Dolphins under Mike McDaniel, they've done great with the big things, generally speaking, the big plays, the big offense, the pick sixes. They've had some great pass rushers, right? They've spent a lot of money, right? They've done all the big things. But the little things have fallen apart. And so far, with the emergence of Biggers during this winning streak and other players too, Phillips, of course, young defensive lineman, the little things are coming back. And it's a big reason why right now they've got some momentum. They're not a perfect team. They're very flawed. But Biggers illustrates why they're on a little bit of a run here with extreme effort.
I think something else Zeek Biggers has been doing really impressive to me is a increase in his pass rush performance. Got a 4-point increase in his pass rush from this week to the last game they played against Washington. I think he's done really, really well overall in that aspect. He's been used in the pass rush game even more as well. It's not like his snaps went down or something like that. 11 snaps in pass rush the past 2 games versus Buffalo and Washington. This week versus New Orleans, up to 22 snaps in pass rush. I think we're starting to see Zeek Biggers become a weapon in the pass rush game.
All right, let's go back to some pass rush, and there's Biggers right there. Line up in a 3 technique on the outside shoulder of the Saints right guard. And the Miami Dolphins here are going to bring a blitz, right? They're going to have number 25, I believe, blitz. They're going to bring a corner off the edge, and they're going to slant Biggers this direction. They're going to slant 44 this direction. And they're going to drop number 2 into coverage right here. They're going to drop 20 in coverage. Now, anytime you run a blitz from depth, obviously that's from depth, and a DB over here is from depth, you need to make the quarterback feel pressure early, right? And that's incumbent on a guy like Biggers right here to get pressure, whether he's going up against the guard, the center, or the other guard here, and make the quarterback feel that in his face. Because if you bring blitzers from depth, eventually some guy will break open, probably on an in-breaking slant or something like that. If you have number 2 drop into coverage and 20 drop into coverage, eventually you'll have an in-breaking route somewhere that'll be open in between them, and the quarterback, if he has time, he can hit him. That means you got to have the quarterback feel pressure early as the blitzers take their time to get there. Biggers does that with a really strong inside move. It's not like a Hall of Fame rep. It's not even an all-star kind of rep, but it's another little thing that truly matters. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Here comes the rush. Quarterback bails. Has to throw it away. Incomplete pass. All right, let's break this down. All right, look at Biggers slanting inside. Gets into the center. Boom. Walks him back. Quarterback feels that right away. What does the quarterback do right here? He bails. Did he need to bail? Maybe not, right? Biggers isn't decleating the center, but he knows the blitz is coming. He reads blitz. So right here, he's like, okay, blitz, blitz, blitz. Oh, I feel my center falling into my lap. Okay, got to go. That's how fast quarterbacks operate, right? But if you have a defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman, and they don't get this initial surge right here, boom, and walk the center back, again, within a few feet of the quarterback, at that moment, the quarterback's like, okay, I can wait, I can hit the end breaker, right? He's got a guy open for a nice completion. Not a huge play, but a pretty big completion. Or if he really wants to, maybe force it downfield to Olave if he wants to try and buzz it past Bradley Chubb dropping into coverage. But when you get pressure right in your face immediately, Tom Brady talks about it all the time. This is what always upset him. This was always put him off his rhythm. Right here, you see how he loses his footwork? It's because he feels the pressure. He feels Zeek Biggers working through his center right into his lap. He knows the blitzers are coming too, and now he has to bail and eventually throw it away. Again, it's the little things, guys, but it makes a difference between winning and losing, just like the Dolphins showed on Sunday. All right, from the wide copy, get a good look at this. Watch Biggers right there. Again, that's not real close to the quarterback. It's not like beating the center right here. But look where the ball was snapped, the 40. How fast does the center get back to what, the 45? The quarterback feels 5 yards of movement from the center position right in his lap. He knows the blitz is coming, so he's going to bail. And he really didn't need to, right? He could have hung in the pocket probably for another second or two and probably hit the, number 87 over the middle for a nice gain, or hang in there and hit the out route. He's got guys open. But it's the threat of pressure. It's affecting a quarterback's rhythm and timing. As people talk about all the time, but this is a perfect example of it. The quarterback knows the blitz is coming off the edge, but he wants to hang in the pocket and beat the blitz behind it. He's got guys where the blitzers are coming from, but because he feels Biggers' initial surge right there, walking the center back, right there. He feels that. He's like, okay, I can't hang in the pocket because I don't know if my center is going to get blown up into me. He has to bail, results in an incomplete pass and a win for the defense. All right, let's go with another pass rush, and there's Biggers right there on the right side of your screen. So the protection here is going to be pretty simple. The play side of the protection, that's these three guys right here. They're all going to take the gap to their left, so the left tackle is going to take this gap, left guard is going to take this gap, and the center is going to take this gap, which means man-on-man on the backside, man-on-man right here, and man-on-man right here. Basically, before it's all said and done, Biggers is going to have two guys on him. Now listen, if you're the Miami Dolphins and you got some good players, like Robinson's a really good pass rusher, you will take Biggers one-on-one. You'll take that all day, every day. So you end up with 71 on him and 77 for New Orleans. Two guys on one. You'll take that, especially because Biggers actually ends up working through the double team with a good effort play once again. But it's one of those things with Biggers that I think he really needs to work on. His pass rush move department just isn't really there. He fires off the football with good intensity, but he doesn't have a good move to go to. Doesn't have a speed to power or a bull rush or a good rip move. I think this is something he needs to develop. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Jumps back. Feels the pressure from Robinson, has to bail, pursued by Grant, short throw to Taysom Hill, good rally of the football. All right, let's break it down. Let's look at all the way back to the beginning here. Look at 93 come off a football. I mean, again, good effort. He works through the trash, works through the double team. I like all of that. But where's his pass rush move, guys? I mean, he's not a bull rush, right? He's not trying to just run his helmet through the offensive tackle or the offensive guard, right? He's not trying to do a rip move. He's not trying to do a swim move. I'm not saying he should do a swim or spin move or anything like that. But where's the push-pull? You know, there just isn't a refined pass rush move. Haven't seen that from Zeek Biggers. And I think that's one thing he needs to work on. His effort, his motor is off the charts, and he's a big physical player. But he does need to develop an actual winning technique in the pass rush department to become a more consistent player for this Dolphins defense. Again, the effort, the physicality, all of that is A+. And in the run game, I think he's really, really good. But we need to see a pass rush move. We need to see something, right? It can be a speed move. It can be something. Just show us something. You can see Robinson, of course, he's a defensive end, a little different. But you can see that swim move there. You can even see Kenneth Grant, right, at least try to do a little bit of a move right there. Again, he tries to do some sort of swim that gets beat and does a push-pull kind of concept. I want to see something from Biggers. Develop some kind of move that you can use consistently. That's one part of his game that right now is missing.
I think one thing that Biggers could really work on is a little bit more consistency in the run defense department. He's done some good stuff there. He's had a lot of snaps the past couple weeks, but one thing, he's gone up, he's gone down, gone up, gone down, and then this week has been a down week for him, a low 40.8 grade after having a high grade last game of 60.4. I think that's one thing Biggers could really lock in on is his performance in the run defense game, which was a strength last week, was now a weakness in his game this week.
All right, let's end on another pass rush from Biggers, and there he is right there. Line up as a 3 technique on the outside shoulder of the Saints left guard. And the Miami Dolphins are going to bring another blitz. They're going to bring 25 and number 20 around just like this, and they're going to slant Biggers this direction, and they're going to slant this way as well. And Biggers, once again, does a great job. Works into the interior offensive line, gets a little pocket push, and then works around. He actually beats them, but the quarterback's able to scramble and throw for a touchdown. Again, not a pass rush move, but he does the things he needs to do in the defense to help his teammates out. He actually wins the rep. I think if the quarterback would have hung in the pocket, this could have been another sack. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Here comes the rush. Quarterback bails. Beautiful throw. Touchdown. Wow. I know Dolphins fans weren't too excited for this, but I tell you what, that is just an absolutely bonkers throw. But let's look at Biggers, right? Again, doing the things that are asked of him. Works inside to the center, walks him back. Again, quarterback feels it, he bails, right? So we see that good from Biggers. That's what he does. Really good to see that. Keeps working. Again, the high motor, high effort, gets around the guys. I think if the quarterback would have hung in the pocket, they would have had a chance for a sack. But you have the defensive line. Again, it's a 2-minute drill. You're tired. That's just a great throw, right? They have a guy right there on the pursuit of the quarterback. I mean, this is how you draw it up defensively, right? You have Biggers inside pushing the quarterback out. You got the edge player right there. I mean, this should have been a throwaway. I mean, this is perfect coverage. It's just an incredible play. And, you know, sometimes that'll happen. The quarterback, the offense, they'll do something special, and you'll give a big play. That's just football. That's just how it works sometimes. But Biggers, again, pushing the center back, working around, high motor. That's what we see from him in the pass rush game. Want to see a move develop for sure, but he's got a lot of good tools. Good in the run game, good effort, clutch play, stopping the tush push at the end of the game. Zeek Biggers is an underrated part of this Dolphins defense, but I think he'll play a huge part in their future.